Hello, hello, and welcome to the Joy of Connection. So happy to have you guys here tonight and so excited about my guest tonight, Olivia. Oh my God, I love me some Olivia. Let me tell you, she's got energy, she's got spice, she's got flavor. Can't say enough good things about Olivia. But you know, one of the things I want to talk to you before we start is a little bit about self-love and self-care, which is what the whole theme of the show is about, you know. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about just a little bit is that, you know, as we mature, we tend to find our way. We become more in love with ourselves. We tend to find what feels good about ourselves, what, you know, what we love and what we don't like. So I just want to ask you, you know, as the audience, just check in and let me know what did you love, or what do you love most about your body? What's the one thing that you really love about how you look and how you feel? Let's see some comments in the chat here so I can reach out and have a little dialogue here. Hey, Aura, welcome, welcome. Joanna, hello. Hello, beautiful to you too. Hey guys, so tell me what, you know, because I can tell you what I loved about me, right? The one thing that I love about me are my boobs. Yeah, boobalicious, that's me. Yeah. That's the thing that I love. But what do you love about you? I mean, our guest, I know that she loves her lips. She says her lips are divine and delicious. Well, that's what I think she said. Don't kill me, Olivia, when you come on screen. Just say, I didn't say that, or she read my mind, whichever one it is, you know. We've got Claudia checking in. Hi, Claudia. Oh, Joanna says my shoulders. Joanna, that's nice. I wouldn't have thought about my shoulders. Is it in the light or is it in the dark? What is it that you like about your shoulders? That's nice. And Aura says she loves the feel of her skin. Ooh, la la. And Eva said, I love my legs. Go on, girl. We'll talk about your legs a bit later. I love that. I love that. And Leslie says she loves the cleavage. That's right. Let's show them a little bit of the girls. You know, I call them the twins, but we won't get into that right now. But yeah, I love that. And Tracy says everything's looking good. So I love that. Or Tracy, are you saying you like looking good? Whichever one it is, it's about how we feel, right? It's what feels good about you to you, not to anybody else. So Claudia says she loves her stature. Yeah, you're tall and elegant, aren't you? So I love that, Claudia. I love that. You know, I'm not as tall as you, so yeah, my stature's what it is. Selena, I love that. Selena, thank you. She says she's loving my hair. Thank you, Selena. You know, try and do a little bit of things with the hair. And Joanna says, I just love my shoulders, but no specific reason. Okay, just because. I love that. I love that. And Tracy's saying, no, that I'm looking good. Okay, Tracy, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So anybody else has any comments, throw them in. So we're going to talk a bit more about body image throughout the show, but let's move forward to our wonderful guest, Olivia. So Olivia, welcome.
Thank you. And no, I did not say that. No, you weren't reading my mind.
And I
I
wasn't
just
reading your lips. How about this time?
oh, okay. But I love my lips and I love my smile. I love my cheekbones as well. But you asked for one thing, so let's leave it
Well,
there.
if you've got more, you can.
No, 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 no. I don't want to spoil you tonight.
Sorry. I love it. Oh, we're getting the show started perfectly, perfectly. So, Olivia, please tell the audience where you're from and where you live.
I currently live in Leicester in the UK. I am a proud child of Barbadian parents, and we like to say Bajan.
Yeah.
And I was actually raised in Barbados, so quite fortunate from the age of 3 to 19. So yeah, that's where I'm from. So I identify as Bajan.
Okay. And let me ask you a question. Do you remember how we connected, how we met?
Yes, we first met at a networking event. Um, yeah. Oh, actually, yes, it was a networking event. It might have been at it used to be called the Grand Hotel, but it's another name now in Leicester.
The Mercury, is it? The
Mercure or one of something
Mercury,
like that
yeah.
there. But then I saw you at another network because I'm a bit of a networking queen, as you know.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, yeah. And I
Oh,
actually, I actually liked you before we spoke.
you
And
did?
I was thinking, yes, I did. And I was like, I want to talk to her. Yeah.
Oh,
That's the
thank
truth. Yeah.
you. Oh, thank you. Oh, good insight. You know, before we move forward, we got some other really great comments. There was one that just came up and I missed it. Could you bring that back for me, Mr. Producer? Do you know which one that was that you brought up? No?
Oh,
Oh, okay. So Selena says she's loving the lippy. I
thanks,
didn't
Selena.
lippy, not mine. And Jacqueline, that's the one. I love my hourglass shape and my strong
Mm.
thighs. Spoken like a true black woman. I love that. Love that. Bring it on. Oh, we got Bajan in the house.
Yes.
Jacqueline,
Bajan's taking over.
I love it. So, Livy, tell me, do you have a regular ritual or spiritual practice that you care to share with the audience?
Yes. I am a born again Christian, and my ritual, my practice is every morning I listen to the Bible because I'm not very good at reading books. I prefer to listen, and I really engage and I commentate and all of that. Get really into it, and
Can
I
imagine.
pray, and I pray. I pray every morning before I do my exercise routine. So yeah,
Yeah, and what does that do for you? Why is it that that's so important to you?
it sets me up for the day, especially if I hear something, if I've heard something from the Bible that is about character, something that's character building or whatever, it is a reminder for how I would like to navigate life and go through my day. So I try to bear it in mind as I go about my daily business.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not just the foundation, but it's a platform for you to
Hmm.
start your day. I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's really nice.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give some more comments from the audience. Someone says, I love my smile. I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is. So if you can sign into StreamYard, it will tell us who you are. Eva says, hello, beautiful ladies. And Aura says, so good to hear you, Olivia. So,
Thank you. So sweet.
okay, okay. So I want to ask the audience again, just bring them in one more time. So we talked about all the good stuff, right? What we love and what we, feel good about. But what is it that you don't feel so good about? What is it that you don't particularly like about yourself, whether it's your body or something else? What is it that you don't feel good about? Olivia, is there anything that you'd like to share? I'm putting you on the spot, so I you, don't worry.
I happen to love myself a lot.
Maybe it
But
was
before
something in the past, yeah. Maybe
mm,
something in the past.
yeah. Well, before we came on, I was actually joking about the fact that my edges seem to be disappearing. But I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, I do notice that, but I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
worst things to be concerned with.
Well, I know that for me, for many years, I had an issue with my butt. You know, everyone would say, "Oh, you've got a big old butt there. You know, you're so small and everything." And then J-Lo came along and Kim Kardashian, and all of a sudden, I've got one of the best assets in town. So, you know, it's all good with me. It's all good with me. I'm fine with it. But there are things, you know, I know when I was a kid, I was bullied for being dark skinned. And I would come home and say to my dad specifically, like, I don't understand why people are teasing me. And my dad used to say, you know, don't worry about them. If they make ugly comments, they're ugly people. So you just say, ugly likes ugly. So I guess you're talking about yourself and just keep it moving. So, you know, that was one of the things for me. But audience, is there anything that you'd like to share? We have somebody here, Eva, saying, easy for me. I don't like my tummy at the moment, but working on it. And that's a good point, right? Maybe there's something that you don't like, but you are working on it and you're coming to terms with it, but you're trying to figure it out. And also we have to be concerned about, are we not liking something because other people are saying they don't like it? Or is it truly what you don't like? That's the thing that we've got to be clear about and be aware of, right? So no one else being brave? Wow, I can't believe it. We had lots of things to say before. Everyone's gone quiet. Come on, people, get with the program. Share with us, share with us.
I guess we don't want to draw attention to any body parts.
Exactly.
If we point it out, then you'd be like, oh, I see what you mean. So now they're going to be looking at my edges or lack of.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, you know, Selena, thanks, Selena. Selena said, I don't like my arms, but it's progress, not perfection. And that's exactly it. It is. You know, we're just trying to get a better version of ourselves. We're not trying to be perfect because that doesn't really exist. But anyway, right along. I really love you for sharing that. Thank you. So I just want to ask you a little bit about your passion. You know, what was it, Olivia, that made you decide to become a life coach? What are you passionate about?
Well, if you had asked me this 5 years ago, I would have said to you, my passion was to help young people to fulfill their potential. But then I had a shift. I sensed a shift in what I was meant to be doing, and I knew that I had a calling towards working with women. And my passion is to support women to find courage to go after what they want in life. And I feel that so many women are being held back by fears. There's some things that aren't even real, but we get held back by things that we are worried about, like, what if this happens? What if that doesn't happen? And when I see that in a woman, I'm immediately drawn. I'm like, I want to help you. Because I myself was coached by someone, and had such a positive impact on me that I thought, I want to do this for other women. Yeah, I want to do this.
Lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah.
So sharing your calling, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And there's so many of us that need that support and need that help because we've either had limited beliefs from childhood, whether it was we were bullied, our parents, our siblings, you know, other people telling you that you weren't what you thought you were, and so you've taken on those labels and started to believe in them and attach yourself to them. So you're you know, that detachment is so important. So it's great work that you're doing. That's great. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, some things that you and I chatted about the other week about learning to love yourself, dating, ghosting, COVID, all these things. You know, start where you want to start, but you know, talk about you a little bit.
I would say that from a very early age, I used to feel inferior to other people. You name the person up, I would always perceive myself to be less than, whether it be in looks or accomplishments, etc. And I struggled with low self-esteem for most of my adult life. I think I masked it very well. So I think I projected the image of being confident, but there were certain things that were hidden behind that mask. And a lot of it was tied up with my size. I mean, I grew up in the Caribbean, so that's not to say that being in the Caribbean that my size was like something that
Yeah.
you should feel ashamed of or anything. But certainly moving to England, you have more of an awareness of your size and beauty standards and all of that. And so, yeah, I felt othered in many situations. But I made a decision, Michelle, that I was going to love me. And I think it stems back to some work that I did on myself about my limiting beliefs. Mine were that I wasn't good enough, and the other one was that I was hard to love. Um, mhm. Yeah. So I think it had to start with my mind, and also my faith played a big part. So things in the scriptures around who I am meant to be, the fact that I am God's masterpiece, all of those things are really, really wonderful things that I hold on to. And when I have my wobbles, I can refer back to them because, well,
Right.
what does God created me? So what does He say that I am?
Right.
But yeah, so loving my physical body, loving my personality, not shrinking myself, figuratively speaking, because I remember years ago when this man that I actually fancied um, expressed that I was too loud for him. And there were certain situations where I would try to be a little more dainty. Dainty, I can't even, can I even spell the word dainty? That's just not me. That's not me. I don't have a laugh. I
Right.
laugh boisterously. You do hear me when I'm in a room. I have presence. And
Right.
I chose to be myself and love myself and accept who I am in its entirety. And that's been very liberating.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm just feeling what you're saying because so many of us will, as I said, take on the labels that other people give them. And I think it's really great what you're saying that, you have a boisterous laugh, you have presence in the room, and that's part of Olivia. That's what you come with, right? This is part of who I am. Um, if that's not working for you, then I guess it's not working for you.
Come
It's
on
working
now.
for you. So that's really, really good.
Mm.
Just some comments from the audience again. Leslie saying that she's embraced her grey hair and she's loving it. And she says, not good enough, it's hard to love. She can relate to that. That's very
Mhm.
interesting. So, there are more people out there discovering that and or agreeing with that, excuse me. And Eva saying, two big limiting beliefs. Well done to making the decision to love yourself. So there you go. Well done. It's
Thank you.
nice. And Aura says, your laugh was one of the things that I enjoyed the most when I first met you.
Oh, thank you.
It's all in perspective. It's all in perspective.
Mm,
And that's really great. So tell me a little bit more about, dating, your experiences and how that led you to where you are now.
okay. So, having spent a lot of my adult career, just, going after success professionally and so on, I got to the age of 38. I'm 48 now, by the way. I'm going to be 49 in a couple of months.
No,
At which point you're meant to say, no way. Oh my
no
goodness, I thought you were
way.
younger
What do you mean?
whatever.
Talking about somebody else.
Whatever. so I so I got to the age of 38 and thought I had a panic. I thought, I'm turning 40 soon. I need to be in a relationship. I need to get married. I had this fear of being seen as I hate this word, a spinster. I hate that word.
Whatever that is.
Being left on the shelf, an old maid, all
Yeah.
those negative connotations that come with it. And so I decided I wasn't meeting anybody. There was no one at church. Anybody at church was either married or in a relationship, whatever. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to explore online dating. And I chose Christian online dating sites and so on. And I ventured onto there. Woo! I could write a book. I could write a book about. So honestly, whee!
So
Let,
can I just
yeah,
clarify? Are you implying that whether you're Christian or not, the experiences are the same?
I Yeah, because as one of my girlfriends would say, man is man. So, I'm not about male bashing or anything, or men are trash. That's not what I'm saying. But I just think that, certainly for me, I think that the online experience, it felt a bit like it was a bit of a playground for some men, so they could, raise your expectations. Yeah, like, oh, which one shall I go for? Who shall I string along? That was my experience. And I think because when I started then, I think I was so panicked about turning 40 and being single that I was like, okay, yes, you'll do. Okay, you're a man, you're Christian, and you're single. Let's do this.
You've got a pulse.
And my so my let's just say my decision making back then was rather flawed.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think but so I had, I met a number of guys along the way, fell in love just a couple of times and didn't work out. But and the most painful experience, I think, one of the most painful experiences, was when I met this guy. Can we go there? Can we go there,
Go
Michelle?
there, girl. Let's go there.
So I met this guy, and you know how they say that women have a list. So I had this list of what I was looking for in a man.
I call it the
So
accordion file, by the way, because
you call
most
it what?
an accordion file.
Okay.
Like, when I go to clients, I'll say, what are you looking for? And then they just open out, they bust out the list.
Yeah,
Like, oh, okay,
yeah.
this is gonna be some sessions here. This is good. I like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so this guy, met the criteria, first of all, Christian. um I don't care about height that much as long as he's not shorter than me, but he happened to be tall, very gentle, very intelligent, because I love intelligence in man or woman. Anyway, we had the best first date. The conversation flowed. He was a gentleman. None of this, are you going to pay, am I going to pay, none of that. Right. And anyway, long story short, we decided to make a go of it. We had a couple of attempts at a relationship, and then the second time around, it was like, no, we're doing this. This is love, and yeah, all of that. Anyhow, um, I've got a thing about, I don't really like. Says she on social media now. I was gonna say I don't really like people in my business. Okay, so if
You
I
put your business out there.
Oh,
Okay.
no, no, I don't care now. I don't care. So I decided, to me, a signal that this is serious is if I introduce the person to my friends.
Yes.
Not all friends, but we had a group outing, and I was like, this is going really well. My birthday was approaching, and we made plans. I had to meet up in London because I was going to be in London. This is where we're going to meet. It was, I don't remember what part of London. It might have been Brixton, not sure. Decided to meet about 9 o'clock, I think, something like that. Michelle, I waited and I waited and I waited. I'm doing the text. Are you okay? Is everything all right? Do you want me to meet you somewhere? Which tube are you getting off at? All of that. Radio silence. That was on my birthday. I
Mm,
never heard from that man since that morning when we made arrangements to meet up in London. So I was ghosted.
mm,
And I have to say, I was so crushed by that because it triggered the well, that is because I'm not good enough. Oh, I must be hard to love. That's why he didn't even have the courage to even say, you know what, I've changed. But nothing. I mean, it was the nothing. It was the lack of communication and courtesy and respect and all of that. Even the fact that I was on my own in the
mm.
car in London, you know, I just, yeah, that was awful. And yeah, my heart was broken. And I just thought, who does that?
Right.
Yeah. So that was difficult. That was
Yes.
difficult. Yeah. But I'm pleased to say I no longer believe that I'm hard to love. That is such a lie. That's so not true. Mhm. And that is not even because I'm in a relationship. It's because I learned to love me, and I am surrounded by people who love me. I feel their love. I know how blessed I am. And so, yeah, I'm over it. Thank goodness. But yeah, that was
And
an
that was just
adventure.
one idiot, right? That was just one. I mean, I have to call him an idiot. You know, that was just one idiot. Unfortunately, he might have some friends out there, but there are lots of men that aren't idiots. So
Mm,
the right one will come along. But thank you
mhm.
for sharing that. And you know, is there anybody else in the audience that's experienced ghosting? I saw some comments popping up a little bit earlier. Aura said, "Yeah, geez, this ghosting business, it's like a trend nowadays." That's
Honestly.
amazing. You know, I was on apps dating as well. And I'm trying to recall if I'm sure I've been stood up. I can't really remember. Oh yeah, I was dating someone hardcore. Thought everything was going all wrong. Well, it just came back to me actually now, and then nothing.
Mm-mm.
Silence. Zilch. No phone call. No nothing. I think I even went to his house because I mean it was at that point where I was going to his house. He was cooking meals for me, and I went to his house. Nobody answered the door. No, you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, but maybe I missed something. It doesn't make any sense, you know. I don't know, but Leslie says loving yourself changes everything, and you're right,
Mm,
Leslie. It really does. You know, you're not waiting for someone to rock up and tell you that they love you and they're going to change your life and they're going to make everything better for you. No, it has to
mm,
start here. It has to start here. You know.
mhm.
Um, Claudia said the idiot is too kind. Thanks, Claudia. Real. Well, you
Honestly,
know, yeah, first words, but my producer's a man. I don't want to hurt his feelings either. Although it wouldn't apply to him anyway. So,
no.
you know, that's kind of the way. And let me see if there are any other great comments here. Leslie said that you have amazing energy, Olivia.
Oh, thank you.
And somebody else said
Oh.
that. I think it was Lindsay from Adore Oil said, you're a gorgeous lady and even better in person.
Oh, is that from Joy of Connection
Yeah,
Network?
physical,
Oh, we
physical.
probably met it right when I spoke. Oh.
Thanks,
Mm,
Lindsay, for joining us. Let me get my words straight. And someone, Charlene says, yes, the
mm,
idiot has friends. I've experienced the same thing with online dating. Lots of immature men I've found. What a waste of time. You know what, Charlene? You couldn't have said it any better. What a
mm,
waste of time. Like, why are you wasting my time? I'm not trying to waste yours, so why are you trying to waste my time? But I think it's what
mm,
you said, Olivia, right? There's so much choice right now online. It's kind of like zip, 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 maybe, zip, 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 maybe. And
mm.
then, oh, it's getting over here, so I'll drop the potato over there because there's another hot potato over here. And it's almost like a game for some
Yeah,
people. Not just
yeah,
men, people would do it as well. But it's like a game. And we're talking about people's feelings and their
yeah.
heart.
And I think for me, it's because of my issues in the past around my size. I thought that it was because of my size that I could be so easily
Mhm.
discarded. But I've learned from other women that it's not even about that. It's not about that. So, you know, I'm so glad that I don't link any failed relationships with my body type
Yeah,
or, you know, anything
anything.
like that.
Yeah. And Leslie says here, I buy myself flowers every week. Kudos to you.
Mm,
You know, we have to do loving things for ourselves because
mm,
if we're married, if we're in relationships, we're giving to everybody else. And if you're single, you're probably giving to the job, you're giving to your friends. When are we giving to us? When are we
mm,
doing something lovely for ourselves? And something lovely can be just that small. You know, a bunch of flowers for £3 from Aldi. It doesn't have to be Interflora, or you know, it just has to be about how does it make me feel. I think I was talking, was it to you, Olivia? I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was saying, "Oh, I'm just going to put my perfume on," and then the person said to me, "Oh, it was you, right? But, you know, why are you putting perfume on? No one can smell it. You're working from home these days." Yeah, but it makes me feel good. It makes
yeah, I
me
do it.
feel See,
Yeah.
makes me feel sensual. It's
Yeah.
not about anybody else. It's about how I feel about me
Mm.
when I
Yeah.
do it for me. You know what I
That's
mean? And
it.
if somebody
That's
else
it.
loves it or enjoys it, I'm great. You know, it's a win-win situation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some more comments here. Keep it coming, folks. I love it. Eva saying that I know two people who met on Match.com and are a few years into the relationship. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's positive. It does work.
Mm.
It,
Oh yes, it does work for some
the
people.
same,
So yeah, so
yes.
even my friend that I used to live with, um, ironically, the ghosting situation happened in the weekend leading up to her wedding. She met her now husband on Match.com.
Okay.
So yeah, oh yeah. So I'm not saying online dating is a bad thing. I'm just saying for me, I had some bad experiences, but
Yeah.
I live to tell the tale.
That's right.
And
You
it's fine.
survived.
It's fine.
I survived.
Don't make me break out in song now.
I know. Okay. So Joanna said that, Olivia, you're great and I love your confidence. So that's
Oh,
really
thank
good.
you.
And Aura said, today I put my makeup on and danced and sang along. It made me feel on top of the world. Girl,
Mm,
I love that. I mean, there's
hmm
nothing like making yourself feel so happy and you're just in that space and you're just enjoying it. You know,
Yeah.
myself and my life coach, we joined something called Singology, which was
Mm,
introduced to me by my best friend, Gwen. Yeah, Gwen's a member of Singology. And we decided to jump on for a quick half an hour on Blue Monday, was it? And let me tell you, I was in here singing like crazy. Ooh, I think it was Night Fever. And I didn't even know the words. I was like, oh, where are the words? But anyway, I just kept singing and dancing. 30 minutes, I felt like a new person, and I even got
mm.
maybe like 1,000 steps in it because I was up there. You know me, anybody knows me knows I like to dance. I was moving and grooving. So, you could do so many things to make yourself feel better, and they don't even have to cost you a dime. So it's
It's
really, really cool.
it's interesting you mentioned about dancing and the steps because my morning routine during the week, I do a workout and usually it's a walking workout, get the sweat on. And this morning I cheated on my YouTube person and tried somebody else. And this guy, I know I felt so bad. And this guy was doing a walking workout, but to music from the 70s. It was so good.
Uh-huh.
And I was doing all the
Oh,
and getting the steps up because I've got my pedometer and I've set myself a steps goal in terms of my health. And honestly, you feel so good. I was skinning teeth as if he could see me through the screen.
I know.
It's so uplifting. Music is
I
great.
love it.
Mm.
Oh, God. So speaking of love, when you and I had the chat the other day and we touched on your dalliance, as I call it, with COVID, we talked about the love that you received during that time that was really heartwarming to you and really feeling
Yeah.
good. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So having COVID, and I won't compare myself with people who have been in hospital, but
Yes.
I have to say that it was terrifying. It was terrifying because in terms of risk factors, you hear in the news that if you're black, if you're overweight, if you've got underlying health conditions, you hear those things. So I had moments of sheer terror in this house. But anyway, what brought me through was my faith and praying and talking to God about myself, but also the love
Yeah.
of family and friends. People that was t- ding dong, and there's food. Actually, I'm going to make you a bit jealous. One person turned up with ackee and saltfish and plantain and fried dumplings. Yes, right. That was one.
Mm.
Another was a fruit.
Door-to-door service.
Another was the fruit basket. Another one was cookies and sweets. And I just, I was touched by those gestures. But I think one of the things I said to you was having COVID or being afraid of the outcome. And one of the things I want to share is one of my symptoms. Everybody has had different symptoms, and one of mine was it was my
Yeah.
lungs that suffered the most. And so I'm going to put it diplomatically. Let's just say
Okay.
I was bringing up some stuff that was quite yucky and bloody. So in those films where it's usually a man coughs in a white handkerchief, and then you see that it's blood,
Yeah.
and then you get that dramatic music where it's like, oh, that means they're gonna die. That is what I felt when I was like, what's going on, anyway. But I saw my life as it was, my life in high definition, in terms of the connections I had, the relationships I had. I came out of it having a stronger sense of what is important and who is important to me, who's in my circle, who I need to make more of an effort with, who I need to, sometimes they know that I love them, but no, demonstrate that love, as in love, as in an action, and I came out feeling incredibly grateful and feeling blessed by the people in my life, and also grateful to have a second chance to do everything that I believe that I'm called to do. Yes. So there were some positives that came out
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Olivia, yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit and see if we can. Your internet seems to be freezing a little bit, but I can hear you, so I'm going to continue. And yeah, I see you now. It seems to be freezing a little bit, but I think we got your messages quite clear. If there's anything anyone didn't hear, please let us know, and we'll go back to it. So Stevie Wonder says, "Love's in need of love today. Don't delay. Send yours in right away." What type of love are you in need of, Olivia?
Honestly, I feel that I have all the love that I need right now. I am
Mm,
content. I am content, honestly.
that's yeah, and you said people have demonstrated it to you in ways that you didn't
Mm,
even imagine. So,
mm,
and that's a really nice feeling because when we're doing well, it's often when we see people show up, right? They're your friends, they love you, you're doing well, rah rah rah, I support you, blah blah blah. But when you're not doing well, is when you really
mm,
how your friends are and who your friends are, and that's
mm,
isn't it? So that was really telling for you. This is really great. The audience is saying there's so many ways to uplift ourselves. It's a great positive of COVID is kindness, and
mm,
we're really starting to see some people really show the truth of kindness to us.
mm-hmm.
He says, "Go, Olivia, go."
Oh,
Really amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So, we're going to start wrapping up now. Oh,
so quickly.
you're having fun. But what one thing would you like to impart with the audience tonight? Especially about these challenging times. Is there anything that you'd like to share with them?
I think the important thing is to, if you have a faith, connect with that, but also be surrounded by the right people. And because, especially if you're scared, if you're, at your wit's end, you're worrying, or a bit like me, searching on Google for every symptom, thinking, is this the end? Just having the right people to say, get a grip, get a grip, Liv. This is not happening to you, or people that can pray for you and support you in that way. I think that's just so important. They say no man is an island, and I think,
Right.
even in isolation, because we were forced into isolation, I felt surrounded.
Oh,
So I was never really alone, to be honest.
yeah,
So
you
yeah,
have that aura of love around you,
yeah.
which is so beautiful. But you know that in order to get that kind of love, you had to have been given it.
Mm,
Because to give is to receive. So it's not a coincidence that you were receiving that love, because you were definitely given it. And I know that when I've spoken to you, you're not in my super inner circle. You're a friend that I've come to know over the years. But every time we interact, that's what I feel from you. You emanate love
mm.
and warmth. You have such personality. I mean, all the comments here. I love it. I love it. And I love that all of those things make you Olivia and nobody else.
Mm.
So
Thank you.
thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for
Um,
having me.
yeah, it's been great having you. And guys, we're posting up here Olivia's website. You can get her on Instagram. You can join her on her group, which is called, is it Curvy Convo or Convy
Yes,
Convo?
Curvy combo.
Yeah, you know, and I don't think it matters whether well, it depends on what you define as curvy. Some people might think it's big, maybe small, but, you know, I'm small with curves. So, you know, I need to jump in and see what's going on over there. I think it's the same time tonight, isn't it? You clash with my show, right?
How dare I?
I'm gonna move that around, but anyway, just throwing that out there. But you know what, Olivia, you are a star. I know you're going to do great things, and I just want you to remember the little people when you're up there. Okay, just make sure I'm not in the back row.
Stop
Make sure
it.
I'm up front. Look, squeeze me in. So yes, thank you so much. You've been amazing, as always, as expected. You always deliver, which is great. And I look forward to having you back again. We have to have you again. I mean, you're just so wonderful.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Olivia, so much for your time. See you soon. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed Olivia as much as I'm sure you have. I mean, what's not to love? And Mandy's saying, to two such gorgeous women, thank you. Both of you emanate love. Thank you, Mandy. Mandy, by the way, is my stylist. This is one of her little numbers, one of her cabbie outfits. So I've got the tiger. Is it my tiger? It's a leopard. I don't think a leopard goes around, but, you know, we can pretend, right? And Aura said, Michelle, you crack me up. Well, you know, that's how I am. I try to keep it fun. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. It was really great to have this chat. You know, we can continue afterwards if you want to, but this is great. Check into my website, check into my group. In the group, I'm always talking about things that are happening and leading up to the next podcast. And if there's an idea that you'd like me to share or something you'd like me to explore, we'll bring it up, bring it on, and we'll do it. But I have to say, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great. It's been real. And as I always say, thank you for tuning in, and be joyful, be connected, and shine your light. See you next week.